So here's the question everybody wants to know. How do you double, triple, or quadruple the music income you have now? If you make $50 a month, $100 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, what are the secrets to taking that and doubling it and tripling it? I think we all want to know that. Well, I kind of hit a new high in October for a couple different music incomes. And I really now want to double and triple that. So how am I going to do that? That's what this whole video is about. This is all I'm going to talk about today, besides any questions you might have in the chat. But we're going to talk about that in depth today. So let's talk first about starting. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, I make zero, how do I double zero? Doubling zero would be more zero. Tripling zero would be more zero. Well, if you're at the point where you're not even making any kind of money right now, then you're going to need a place to start. And we're going to be talking a lot about royalty-free income today, not specific libraries, but about my income from that. We will. I'm going to take a look at my spreadsheet. Ooh, I also need to bring my spreadsheet up. But we're going to be talking about my spreadsheet, my October. I'll show you what I made and how I made it, and talk about why I want to take that kind of a month and really just double that and triple that in order to get where I want to go. So we'll be talking about that sometime later. But right now, let's just keep talking about if you're just starting and you want to get to a place where you've got something to double or something to triple, then one of the things we're talking about is stock licensing. And so I want to make sure you know about my ebook, The Stock Market, Why, Where, and How to Submit Your Music to Stock Music Licensing. It's just a cheap little ebook that I made. It's not cheap. It's inexpensive. Let's put it that way. But it's just an ebook that I made for people who are trying to figure out how to get into royalty-free music licensing and income from that. And so I put together my best, what I thought was most helpful for this, which was how to actually find the libraries and get on the libraries. And so I definitely made this book for that. So you can find that here at makemusicincome.com/stock market. So if you're just starting and you're just trying to figure out how to find these libraries and how to get on them and find out the links to go directly to them so you can start applying to them and putting your music up and getting this kind of income I'm talking about today, you can go there. And I also have stuff at my free page, makemusicincome.com/free. Lots of good ideas to there to get started. So, but if you have already started and you are starting to see the smallest traction, then the secret to more music and more income and more everything, as Jerry Seinfeld once said. There's a famous episode where Jerry Seinfeld's in first class and Elaine is in the back and she's having a terrible time. And in the front, Jerry Seinfeld is in sipping champagne with this beautiful lady and they're just having a great time. And the hostess comes up, the first class hostess comes up and she says, "Would you like any more champagne? Would you like any more of this, more of that?" And Jerry goes, "Yes, more of that, more everything." Well, that's kind of today's personality of this show. And we're just trying to figure out how we can get from where we are, what's coming in this month, and find out the secret to doubling and tripling that income. And I believe it is pretty basically simple. You just need more music, more types of edits of each song, more everything, more libraries. We'll talk about that kind of thing. I hope you have a warm beverage today. A warm beverage is always good. This is an ad for warm beverages. Lovely warm beverages. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's move on now and I want to talk about the things that are making me income and that's kind of where I am with income. I just want to keep getting more in there, more songs, more creations, more compositions, more of these things. So let's, without any any kind of waiting anymore. Let's check into my October on my spreadsheet. As you may know and remember, I keep a spreadsheet of all the things that I do with my royalty-free music, or what you might think of stock licensing music. So let me share that screen with you, and let's look at those numbers here real quick. So this is this month, and or the last few months here, but I specifically want to talk about October. And you can see here in October, I haven't really started November yet, and I'm a little late on doing that, 4 days in. I know I've probably made like $10 on, no, what day is this? 4 times, probably made, I don't know how many dollars I've made, probably $5 on Motion Array at the start of the month. Motion Array starts again every month, and so, but you can look at last month on things, and my Motion Array numbers are pretty paltry compared to what they used to be. But they're something, and they're usually bigger than anything else. You can see that I had some pretty poor months here in the summer. I think a lot of people did. And you might be thinking, wow, you don't make very much at this. You'd be right. I purposely, at the beginning of the year, focused on this channel and trying to get some income from teaching outside of here, and did find a teaching job. So I have let royalty-free music really kind of, besides Motion Array and Pond 5 and Audio Jungle, and Content ID, which has really come up, as you can see, and I got my first payment from Content ID just last week, so very cool. But my October was pretty decent, and that's without hearing from Content ID, which has been averaging around over 100, so that might be add another 100 to this month. Also, I know that I will get something from I will get something from Motion Elements, because they usually don't find out how much you make again. Only $10 or so probably. But this is likely going to be over a $500 month once Content ID is reported, which will be a while. And that's not bad. That's nice. Now, this was helped obviously by this thing right here, this beautiful almost $200 check from SongTrader. And if you're wondering what that is, it's basically just monetization that the different monetization things they have, overhead music and different things they have. I have a SongTrader video. I'll try to remember to put that down in the comments or the description below, but also you can just go to my site and look for reviews, and I review SongTrader, and it talks about all the things they pay. Well, today, this was the payout month, and in general, it's been not bad. You can see it's the third most thing that's paid me this year in the small numbers I'm making this year, which are going to end up being much smaller as a whole. Still, I feel fortunate to have, $2,000, $3,000, $2,500, $3,000 in the year just coming from music that mostly was done last year or earlier this year. It's once you're done with it, you're up, and it just keeps making pennies. So I'll take all those pennies and let them add up. But this was the first month, or this was October. Actually, this is my first $400 month, and that's even without the Content ID, which has bolstered some months up into the $100 range, or the $300-$400 range. But this is the first $400 month, and really the first one since last year, when I would have them a little bit more regularly with Motion Array's help. So I had quite a few of those. So I haven't had a lot of growth this year. As you can see, growth from 2021 of this same month was minus 9%. Now, growth from the month before in September was 118%. That's good. But minus 9% growth from 2021 at this time in October, which was 467. But this should be a plus from last year, which is pretty good if this can be that. Now, here's the thing. I want that 421.22 to go twice, double that. I want to see $800. I want to see $1,000 just coming from this per month. Now, my way of doing this, and as you've heard Steve and I talk about many times, my way of doing this is different than his. He focuses on what's cool because he's cool. But I just like to make what I make. This is all making stuff that I just like to make and I want to make. And I don't really, I create from a sense of what I want to compose. And we talk about that on our Hello Composers channel. But I kind of just write what I want to write. And if it fits in for royalty free, great. If not, then I'll take whatever pennies or nickels or dollars they send me. That's just my thought on this, because my real thought with licensing is getting into sync and a long-term goal there. And so I have other music income, so I'm not dependent on this. But it does pay bills. Even the lowest month paid, maybe the electric bill, or it paid for a bunch of things. So that's still money in my pocket. So basically that's what I wanted to show you there is my month there. And let me see if there's anything here in the chat. Arco says he thinks he's going to get some income from Audio Sparks. Yeah, not soon. They only pay in quarters. So if you just started with them, it's going to be quite a few months down the line probably. Linda says, good afternoon. Hello, Linda. Thanks for being here. Arco says, how many songs did you upload to SongTrader before you got paid for the first time? I don't remember that because I have been with them for such a long time. It's been 3 years or more, but they pay every month something. Something pays. So it's easy to start making dollars. You have to make a certain amount, $25, $50 before you can, I think it's 25. No, actually you can pull out anything that you make there. They have no withdrawal limits. So you can have it go right to your bank account or right to your PayPal. All right, so let me get back to what I am talking about here today, and just talking about really royalty-free income. So ideally, I would like the numbers that you just saw to double, to triple. Duh, who wouldn't, right? So again, I think the answer continues to be more. Now, take those SongTrader numbers that you were just looking at, and I want those SongTrader numbers to go up. Well, the only way to make those go up, since those are monetization things, they're getting played on overhead music, and they're getting played on streaming things, and who else knows what they're getting paid on, and all the different monetization options I'm in, which was how that music got to me, was the fact that I have, 100 and something, close to 200 songs or files in there. The answer to getting more on this next payout, or whatever payout I get, the answer again is more. And so on the royalty-free side, for me, to get more, this is for me. This may not be for you. Maybe for you, it's going to be writing the right song. But for me, it might be that, but it's also more files. More files. I have around 250 files out there on Pond 5 and on different libraries that allow you to do separate ones. Other places like Audio Jungle, I have 100, or the places that Motion Array, I'm almost up to about 125 now on Motion Array. So loading more songs, more loops, more versions. I'm loading more up to the libraries so that, especially the ones that I know pay, and I can see which ones who pay, because I keep careful notes on my spreadsheet about that. And I had the nice payout from SongTrader in October. And here's the cool thing. My experiment this year was to not pay SongTrader their yearly fee. Usually it's a $49 fee, I believe. I paid it for two of my SongTrader accounts, and I'd been paying it for years. And up to last year, it had paid way more than what I had paid them. But I decided to not pay them this year and see how it worked out with having less income coming from the split, because you get a split from SongTrader, and you'll get 80-20 is, I think if you pay them and you get 60/40 or something like that, I can't remember what the splits are, but you get less if you're not paying them if you're on the free account. But I've still made more. I'm going to come out on the better side with SongTrader this year than last year. So it's time to double that catalog there. I've got to. I haven't put one thing in SongTrader in 2022, and I have maybe 100 things to put up there. And so that's what I'm working on right now, getting all that stuff back up there, getting it into all the monetization things. And there's also possibilities of people finding those songs by searching for television things or movies or things like that. And you can also apply to their briefs. There's lots to do on SongTrader. Big fan of that place, especially with this last month's payment. Now I'm really a big fan. So why haven't I put up more music to SongTrader this year? Well, I was waiting to see how it would perform on the free plan, and it was fine. I'd gotten a $60 payment, but some of that was for music distribution, which I just thought, okay, well, I should get that anyway. But what I'm really impressed with now is the monetization options, and they usually do pay once a year, especially the overhead things. And I've made more than that from overhead music there. But hey, if they are going to be a 300 to 400 or 500 income a year, let's double that. And so I think I need to get more songs, more versions. You can put lots of different versions up there and attach them to the main version. It's a bit of work because they have a few screens to go through to get stuff on there. But I timed it, and as I was doing them, it took me about 3 minutes each. That's doable. You can sit down and take 30 minutes and put 10 or more songs up there and go through that, and that's okay. So gotta double or triple that non-exclusive income each month. Again, who doesn't want to do that? But it takes time. The time I was just talking about. It takes uploading. It takes a lot of notes and going and finding out how much the running time is and what key it's in and things like that they ask you. But and our time is at a premium. We all have. I have YouTube channels. I have clients. I have a full-time teaching job and my own composing. Hello, composers. Which is the base of all of this. I am a composer, and if I don't compose, if I don't create, I can't teach, and then all of it goes away. My teaching jobs and my channels and all that kind of stuff. So to me, I have to continue getting more up there so I get more music income and get more. He sounds so greedy, doesn't he? So what do you think of this so far? Let me know in a comment here. If you're watching this later, let me know in comments what you think of the more royalty-free equals more income idea. Or if you have questions about this, let me know in the comments. I'm getting ready to look in the chat and talk about what's going on there. So let's do that right now. Let's just see what people are saying. Anybody got a question? Okay, come on. Comments, come back. Arco says, how many songs did you upload to SongTrader? Oh, I misread your comment, I think. How many songs did I upload before I got paid? I don't know, 20 to 50. I had a lot to put up there. And I did that. And so I remember getting paid pretty quick. I thought it was cool. Fret Noise says, I have some Christmas tracks up on Pond 5. When do you usually start to see activity start for the season for these type of tracks? Summer. I think people are looking for Christmas tracks all year round. Certainly now. Again, YouTubers probably are not looking for them in as advance as movie companies that are looking for Christmas songs for Netflix movies or Lifetime movies or something, but YouTubers are likely going to be looking more for Christmas songs now. So I am going to be putting Christmas songs out from now until December 25th. I have an album I'm working on, and the first one goes out on Spotify. It's already out on my libraries, but it's kind of a piano album, so it'll be pretty quick to make and get out, and my solo piano stuff does very good. So I'll be doing it ASAP. Do it now, Fret Noise. Do not wait. No reason to wait. The more it's up there, the more someone can find it between now and Christmas when they need it. Linda says, in simple terms, it is equivalent to depositing your tracks into the bank. The more you invest, the greater the interest. Yes. The return of interest, it is. It's like interest. Having of them up there, they're the gifts that keep on giving. People will keep finding them and keep finding them, keep finding them. More, the better, for sure. Fretnoy says that's a good way to think of it. Yeah, there's no interest per se, but there kind of is, because some songs that you put up once can get plays for years and continue, especially holiday songs. I think we forget the power of holiday music that could make us income every year, because every year those things bring us income for sure. And so we have to remember to think about putting music up there that is holiday and usable at holidays, because holidays come, not sure if you knew this, but holidays come every year. Yeah, they really do. Beats by Benito, thanks for joining us. As long as quality is up to par, quality is next focus for sure. Currently refining my process to reduce the time it takes to make each track. That's a good word. That's a really good word. We're going to talk about composing more and what you need to do to improve that next here in just a minute. Arco says, looking out for boutique sync libraries to submit. Any thoughts? I think you've just got to go find those. You've got to just really start to search. You can find a lot of those boutique libraries in Jesse's book or in Clint's book. They have those. They have those kind of library lists similar to my stock music book. They have those, and you can just start to suss them out. I go through them all the time. Even the one that's a couple years old, I'll just go through and I'll go to their websites and look and see if I can find a boutique sync library. I think, though, Arco, I'm going to be looking for less boutique and more bigger, larger libraries. I just think that's a better bet. And so it's like we go to Pond 5 first because it's humongous. Now, that's good and bad because there's there's a lot to search through, but you're reaching a larger audience. I'm not sure how to say his name. Bjornar? You look very familiar to me, so I know you've been here before, I think. Focusing on Spotify for the moment with Facebook ads seems like it's working, as in getting followers and streams. Well, absolutely. All you got to do is go listen to Mr. Andrew Southworth, and he will point you on how to do that and do those Facebook ads in Spotify. And yes, that can be very helpful. I need to do that. That's not one of the places where I have time to put effort, but I believe it's worth it. I really do. And that is something I need to double and 10x. I did get some money from DistroKid last week for my distribution, and I get some through SongTrader as well. So it is money, and I probably could push that more. It's just I'm not. I think you have to be in the artist mindset for Spotify, and I'm kind of in the creator mindset more. And so, but I get it, and absolutely it works. Just ask Andrew Southworth for sure. And Tom Dupree III as well. You should take a look at his channel. Andreas, how you doing? Well, Steve seems to prove that wrong with 66 tracks at MA and killing it there. But for us humans, the more and more approach is the way to go. Yeah, I said that earlier, and I believe that. I know that we know that someplace like Artlist or if you're at Motion Array and you are making exactly what people are looking for, and your love is making groovy, pop, upbeat, positive music, then you too can do as well as Steve does. I know lots of people who really do well there and make thousands in a month just from making that kind of thing. I've got some kind of in the up on the racks right now that are like that, but I just don't really. That's not my first goal. I kind of will say, I feel like a piano thing. I feel like a jazz thing. And a lot of times those choices are just not the choices that everybody is going to want. So I don't end up writing those kind of songs. But people like Steve do. So that's why I think our podcast is so interesting, because we do have these kind of high top of the scale things, and the way he approaches it is so different than the way I approach it. So I'm more down. I like to think I'm with the common people. And so we're all making hundreds while he makes thousands, but that's fine. Yes, every year holiday music is useful. John says, I use Amuse for distribution at the moment. Is it possible to use the income generation element of SongTrader without their streaming distribution? Of course. You only will put stuff into their streaming that you want. It's just a distribution possibility. Right now, I distribute with Amuse because I want to try it out. I distribute with DistroKid, CD Baby, and SongTrader, all four of them. I would try other ones if I needed to, and may. I just want to see what Amuse would be like. So all four are great, and all four. I don't think I've made anything from Amuse yet, but it's my folk thing, and I've only done about 4 or 5 singles, or 3 or 4 singles off there so far. So that would be getting back to talking about the what he was talking about up here with the Facebook ads and Spotify. I probably should do Facebook ads to get that folk stuff going and see what Amuse would pay. I know that Dave or Dan Barracuda, our friend Dan, who makes a lot of money, including his rent and more, from Spotify, specifically from Spotify. He does all of his distribution through Amuse and does very well. Linda's responding to Arco saying, research is the key. Yes, research is the key to finding the libraries you want. And, we've got a great big Google engine right in front of us every day. If you can't dig down and do some search, spend some time searching, then you're not going to find it. By the way, your content and podcast with Stevie B is really helpful. Thanks. Thank you so much. We have a lot of fun doing that. We just did a new one yesterday, coming out on Monday. And that one is called, this podcast is the one, our podcast coming out on Monday is called the Make No Music Income Podcast, where episode 1, really it's episode 46, but we talk about what things have paid us absolutely zero and why we think that is. So that's going to be kind of fun. Arco says, AudioSparks is not exclusive, so you can upload to anywhere. Do you use them publisher? If you do you distribute that 50% cut from every track you distribute to? Now remember, when they take publishing, Arco, they take 50% of your publishing, just like with Pond 5 publishing. I can't remember who else does it, but AudioSparks and Pond 5, they retitle. So they are not taking 50% of your main song. So if you put your song up as beautiful song and you put that up on your PRO, AudioSparks is going to come up with one called Beautiful Song AA, I believe is how they do it. And then Pond 5's is going to be Beautiful Song P5 or something. And that's how it's going to read in your PRO. But your normal stuff that you put up to your PRO is just going to still be that. So any other song will find it, and they'll find the normal name, and only the ones that find P5 publishing. In other words, don't worry about that so much, because that really only has to do with what AudioSparks does. All right, final question here before I get started. I am sometimes in the same boat as you, uploading a solo guitar performance at the moment. It's certainly getting accepted at Motion Array, but it's making more than 200 downloads. That's a lot. Yeah, sure it is. It's hard to not dig into those stats and see how many downloads you're getting for each song. But I think you have to do the things that you love. Motion Array, by the way, folks, loves solo guitar, solo piano, classical piano, vocal songs. They love much more than just corporate. But I don't think the customer is looking for those as much as they are looking for other things. And so they are not looking for things like piano customers aren't always looking for piano songs or acoustic guitar things as much as they're looking for corporate, upbeat, fast, cool things like our friend Stevie makes. All right, well, let's move back into the next piece I want to talk about here, and that is, so obviously putting out more to libraries and to catalogs is good, right? I mean, the problem, though, is you have to write the dang songs in the first place. You have to compose more. You got to make more time for making more songs and then make more versions so you can have more uploads and then more chances of downloads. It's a lot of more. But again, that's where I am and where probably everyone watching this is. If you're involved in any kind of music that you're making for clients or for libraries or things like that, the answer is making more songs. Now, tomorrow I have about 5 to 10 songs to go through that I have what I call up on the racks. And, I have to get into those and get composing those. And so that's why I have to find that open time that I can listen, that I can add, I can finish these new tracks to get more up on the libraries and pitch them to where I think they're going to go. If it's not to the non-exclusive libraries, if it's for an exclusive thing, then I've got to get that ready for that. So I'm working very hard to find more time to compose, and I think that's really something here that is something that we talk about all the time on this channel, finding time. In fact, if I can triple the income from this composing channels and my composing and my libraries, it helps me afford to outsource any work that's for clients and truly free me to focus on more composing. It's a little, I like to say, it's like a big circle. I can't get to more songs if I'm busy doing work, and I can't stop doing the work because I need the money. So I need to get more money from something, and then I need to. So you see the problem here. You've got to make and double and triple these incomes that come in every month, so that can start to offset the money that you have to do working, so that you have more time to compose, to make more, to continue to double and triple the stuff here. So again, I'd love to hear your comments on this in the chat and where you are with this, or tell me in the comments below where you are with this. Do you struggle with finding the time to compose and add to your catalog so that you can grow and double and triple your income there, or wherever you are submitting your music to? What can you do to alleviate the resistance, as Stephen Pressfield calls it, and get composing more to bring in more music income? What do you think of that? Anybody have any thoughts on that in the thing here? Fret Noise asks, if you make a 30-second cut of a longer track of yours, do you also register that as a separate song with your PRO? The answer is absolutely no, you do not. You absolutely put just the main song up there. Same with copywriting it, same with content ID. They only want the original song. All the cuts and all that kind of stuff are absolutely not needed by your PRO. They just want the one song. They have enough copies of all the songs, especially when they get people retitling your songs and just crowding up your PRO. You do not need to put your 30 seconds up almost anywhere except when you are putting them in some place. Art says, hi, Eric. What do you think about Christmas songs that you uploaded last year? You have some chance this year? Yes. Well, I think they're good. Like I said, Christmas comes every year. So those songs that you put up last year are going to be found this year. And the songs you put up this year are going to be found this year and next year. So it's all good in the Christmas hood, if you will. It's absolutely fine, and you're going to need to put as much as you can up this year, and then you can kind of pause on Christmas music until next year and kind of move on with your with the other kind of music you want to put up come January. But if I were you, up until the 25th, I think we are dealing with YouTubers and with people doing corporate presentations, and those are the main two customers I think who come to these stock libraries, these non exclusive libraries, to find quick music they can put behind their videos for some use they have tomorrow or for a client or something. So we need to make sure that those Christmas songs are up. Start getting them up now. Keep putting them up through Christmas is my advice, because I certainly think that I have made money every Christmas. The holidays are always good, including alternate holidays. I have a whole video about this, but yeah, absolutely. It's important to get those up. Shane is in the house. Hey, Shane. Good to see you. Linda says, you have to create a daily schedule for composing and stick to it. Be realistic with your time allocation. That works for many people. That does not necessarily work for me. The only thing that works for me is my to-do list. We went over my to-do list a few weeks ago here on this channel. If you want to see that video, you can find it in my live videos on this channel. I have to have a to-do list, and I have to just try to get to what's next. And trying to put a daily schedule together is very difficult, even though I have a pretty consistent daily schedule of where I need to be every weekday. As far as about 2 or 3 o'clock, I have to go and teach. But from those hours before that, from the time I get up to the time I have to leave, that is going to be up in the air depending on how much things like this take, how many video projects I'm doing, how many audio projects I'm doing for clients, or video, or other kind of clients. I am really taking the first steps to find some help to offset that and to farm out some stuff. So really working on that to try to get more time available. And for me, it's just a matter of farming things out that I don't need to, I could have someone else do, and it would still be great. So yeah, that's the way I have to work, because I just can't create a schedule, like an hourly schedule. I think you're talking about in time allocation, and I do a little bit of that. Like, for instance, this morning before I was getting ready for this, I was thinking about doing a mix, but I knew I needed to send this out to the email list. I knew I needed to put it up on Discord so people would see it. I knew I needed to do a little bit of that, make sure all my titles were ready and the camera was ready and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to spend that time on a few other video channel things that I had to fix up. A new thumbnail on one video, a new edit on another live video that I wanted to edit up. So yeah, I have to just kind of approach those things. And then after this, I'll jump to that mix. John says, I'm really struggling with time currently, but doing house renovations. I need to be less precious about stock stuff. My best motion array track was my quickest to finish. I don't think that is coincidence. Yeah, I don't, I think you have to know when to be done with a song, for sure. But sometimes when I think I am done, I just will let it sit for a few days. And some of the songs I'm going to go back to tomorrow when I do have some time to really look at some music. I'll be just looking and listening again and making sure it's done. And if it's done, it's done. I'm going to put it out. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next song and use my time effectively for that time of thing. Arco says, do you have a spreadsheet for metadata for your every song? No, I have Pond 5. I've talked about this many, many times, and I use Pond 5 as my my database for everything from the description to the keywords to the time, the duration, to the tempo. All of those things are available at Pond 5. All I have to do is keep Pond 5 up with whatever library I'm putting in, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Been doing that since I started. It works great, and it keeps me from having to do a whole nother spreadsheet or a database of all that information. Pond 5 is a great database, and you can copy and paste, sometimes right off your uploads page, the description and the keywords, and quickly put that into other libraries. So that's what I use. Shane says, The War of Art is a good book to deal with motivation and why things don't happen. Yeah, what I just talked about a minute ago for resistance is all about what this book, The War of Art, which is kind of a If you're not familiar with it, it's kind of a turn on The Art of War, which is a very, very famous tactical book. But the War of Art is talking about why we have such trouble getting things done, and you should really take a look at that book. Great book, and the resistance is real, as we just all are talking about. John was just talking about that struggle. Bjornar says, I have a spreadsheet for every song, but the metadata descriptions are stored in a text file on the songs project folder. That's fine. Again, I think the Pond5 way is easier. It's just one place I call up and I can just copy and paste from. But I think that's great. He says the spreadsheet shows what library if I've submitted to and if the track is approved or not. Now, I do have a spreadsheet that shows that. I'll show you that real quick. I also have a spreadsheet, and I really need this spreadsheet, because if I don't have this spreadsheet, then it's really hard to know, just like you said, what places I have put everything. So I call this my royalty-free library database, because all of these libraries are royalty-free. So let me just show that to you here. And it's rather large because there's a lot of libraries. But I'll show that to you, and how I keep track of everything that I've done. So let me present that to you real quick. That is this window here. So if you see here, I have all my songs in alphabetical order. The song is on this side and just goes in alphabetical order down, all the way down to the bottom. And again, this is the 137 or so songs that I have. That doesn't mean how many files, because as you can see here, some of the files, some of them have different a number of files. A Free and Easy Day has 4 different versions. So what I do is I will put what I have artist brands for each of these, and so I will keep the artist brands just to remember who did it, quote unquote, who did it. I did it, but and then the genre I put on there, and then I go to the libraries, and these are always in different orders. Usually I have these 3, Motion Array, Audio Jungle, and Pond5, kind of as the first libraries everything goes to. And as I said before, I start with Pond5. So everything goes in this, and you can see when I think, oh, I need to make sure something goes in there, I put next on that library. If it's in there, I put how many are in there. And so like with Pond5, I can say Pond5 had 4 of this song in there. If I'm just looking at this song, I had 4 accepted in Pond5. Audio Jungle did not accept this song for whatever reason. I have 1 in Motion Array. Now that Motion Array file has all 4 versions in it, because they only, like Audio Jungle, they only accept the one file, the one song, and you have to have all your versions in that. 4 are uploaded at SongTrader, and on this goes. I have Motion Array here, 100 Audio that I'm getting ready to do a little bit more on. I have a Content ID, if I put it in Content ID or not, and then moving on to all the other lesser, sometimes libraries that I may not worry about as much, and you'll see more nexts, and some I don't even put anything, because I don't really put anything, especially to music, motion grid, whatever the name of that stupid thing is. Nothing's going there. Nothing's going to Dreams right now. Audio Sparks, I am starting something new with them to put more songs up there that doesn't affect Content ID, so they'll let me put it up there. Radio Sparks is what I'm talking about. Motion Elements, I do want to put more up there. There's just a little bit of time to put stuff up there. 123RF, I will put songs up in batches, but they don't pay very much. VFine is there. Deposit Photos is something that doesn't pay. And I lost all my information about what I did. I don't know what I did to that, but it's such a non-player anyway. Doesn't matter. So you can see how I keep these. And if, as far as this V thing here, that's because I've registered it with VFine, and I have a deal with VFine that I can't put anything that's in VFine in 100 Audio. But I'm kind of pausing on VFine right now just because they are not paying, or there's nothing happening there with their new system. So as you can see, I'm really into SongTrader right now. The S, if you're wondering, means that I have submitted to that library and I'm waiting to hear back once it's accepted. Although SongTrader doesn't really accept songs, they just put them in. There's no like, you can't, it's not like you have to wait and see if they'll take it. They take everything that you put up. So they don't, it's not that they take it, it's just a catalog. It's not a library that they curate. So everything you put up there, this just means I haven't got it finished and done up there yet. But other libraries like, I don't know what this Q is. I don't know what that is. I think that's already in. But other ones that have an S means I have submitted it to Audio Jungle, for instance, with this one, and it's not in there yet. It hasn't been approved yet. So that is, I do have that, and that's a very long-winded explanation of the fact that I do this, and so I hope that helps you see what I do on that. Art says, even you have a spreadsheet, one per year, you upload the same track to the same library. I'm not understanding that question. Even if you have a spreadsheet, one per year, you upload the same track to the same library. No, I don't think so. All right, Brett, thanks for being here. Good stream. Thanks for being here, man. Arco says, oh, okay. Sometimes these sync libraries ask for a metadata spreadsheet. Well, maybe sync libraries do. If they do, then I'll just make one for them. But the ones that I work with have not ever asked anything like that. Or if they had a spreadsheet, they sent me the spreadsheet and the number of songs that I did, I gave them something back. All right, so let's move on here. And I got a few more things to talk about. We were talking about more composing. And while we're talking about that, I want to make sure that you know about Hello Composers. I would love everybody, if you're a composer in here, to be part of Hello Composers channel. It's different than what we talk about on here. It's actually focused only on composing and composing things and listening to your music and music reviews. And I've got a bunch of exciting videos I'm preparing to make there, like Logic or live composing reviews that I'll do in Logic. I've got some other things, reviews on some other things, sites that instruments that are free that you can use if you need those kind of things that are especially useful for composers, and lots of things like that I'm kind of putting out. But make sure you go to hellocomposers.com and just go to a little side window right now. Just hit the little plus sign on your browser and go to hellocomposers.com and make sure you subscribe. It'll take you right to the subscribe page on YouTube. And just say subscribe, and you can be part of the next things. If you have music, and if you've never had anything reviewed on Hello Composers before or here on Make Music Income, I'd love to get as many people as possible in that our music review Wednesdays that we do. We have a lot of fun here, great music, and it's a way to get some free feedback on your music from me in a live situation. So join hellocomposers.com and be with us over on that channel. Speaking of channel growth, this is the next thing I want to talk about here, because, and I've got a video planned about this, about doing videos, and are they a way to bring more music income? Now, not just from YouTube income, but can you use videos to market your songs, market your catalog, market your non-exclusive royalty-free catalog? Can you build an income like that? And can a YouTube site help you do that? Now, to be honest, I'm super thrilled with the growth of this channel and really Hello Composer as well. But this channel seems to be very helpful to folks. I'm thankful for the 24 people hanging out here. And I know you're coming and going, and that's fine. Glad to have you today. But I'm just shocked with the response to this channel. I did want to teach, and before I got my teaching job, I started this last year in July, and kind of just wanted to give my thoughts on things and have a warm beverage and talk about things, and so that's what I do. But I'm just thought that the channel just keeps growing like a weed. No, I do keep putting new content up there, and I love these weekly lives. I hope you like coming in and hanging out every Friday and listening to what I'm talking about and asking questions, because it's a lot of fun for me. And Despite what people say, and I know all of you watching this would love short media too, and I do have quite a few. I just released a under 10-minute video with Adam Ivy just the other day, and so I've got lots more of those coming in. It's just that these Friday videos, they go long because we talk, and I have things to talk about, and then you have questions, and so I want to answer those questions. And when 25 people get in here or 30 people get in here and they all start answering questions, there's a lot that goes back and forth. Our Discord is almost 800 strong now. Make sure you go down in the description and you're part of that, because we want you there. Absolutely free place to hang out and ask questions. I do not have an academy. I do not have any kind of, I don't know, whatever people have nowadays on their channels. Not that there's anything wrong with academies. I love academies. But this is my academy, this free Discord. You can come in there, get music feedback, ask questions, all the stuff that we're doing here. So make sure you go down into the description and you are part of our academies, because we want to have you there. And then we have my second channel, kind of the offshoot of this, called Hello Composers. Hello Composers. And you can find that in the description below as well, or right here. That's all you got to go to. But I find that we're doing some fun things on there, and we're talking from a different kind of part in our brain. And that channel keeps growing very quickly with our weekly free music reviews on Wednesdays. So if you want to be part of that, you can email me at hellocomposers@gmail.com, and would love to have you as part of that. You can send me an MP3 and a song for next Wednesday. I also have lots of shorter content and reviews on that. Now, where am I getting to with all this? I think videos and live videos and sharing your content in video form is a way that you can take your catalog and your music income to another level. Sure, maybe you're not going to start a YouTube channel like this and have dozens or hundreds or thousands of people following you. Maybe that's not what it's about. Maybe it's just about a place to show off your music. I know we have somebody on our Discord. I think his name is OW Synth or something like that. And I am following him on YouTube. I am watching his progress as he builds his YouTube catalog based on his songs that are on his music libraries. And he is just putting out a nice picture with indie folk, and he'll play the indie folk song for 2 minutes or however long it is. And down below, there are links to go to his catalog. And so he is betting on people searching on YouTube for a certain type of song. So very smart for music channels to grow like that. In some ways, I am doing that with Hello Composers. I am including one of my songs on the music review day just for fun. I do it last, but it's fun for me to be able to show off my thoughts about the song things we were talking about. So the other reason I'm talking about music channel growth is because this is what I need to double and triple as far as income. And I do that not just from the videos I put up. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm starting to get some sponsored videos, some requests to do sponsored videos. I've got a new one coming up from DistroKid talking about their video service. And I'm going to experiment with that before I do it. But then I'm going to tell you my results with it. And they sponsored that video. So it's very cool. Also, I'm considering, and tell me if you think this is interesting in the chat or in the comments, but I'm considering doing offering for you to sponsor a video based on what you want to talk about. I might even talk to people live or talk to people as part of a podcast or talk to people as part of a video and do a little interview with you based on what you're doing. I just kind of wrote this last night, but it's just something that came into my mind to maybe bring some more interest and or attention to your catalog and your income. So if that interests you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And then finally, I offer consulting as part of my income that happens through these sites. And so that consulting is part of what I've been doing. I love doing it. It's one of the fun things I do. We do it through Zoom, and people will show me songs, and I'll give them real-time feedback in a private setting. So if that's interesting to you, while I can do it, eventually I might have to go to more like a group situation. But while I have the time to be doing these single ones, I do have spots on my calendar, and I have 2 coming up this week that people are wanting to talk to me on Zoom. And so you can find more information about that at this link, makemusicincome.com/coaching. And I certainly am looking to do more of that. And eventually we might even have some kind of coaching group, and that might be my academy or something. I don't know. I'll just have a coaching Zoom that I do every week, and everybody can show off a song and we can talk about it. I don't know. Just different things I'm thinking about. And then finally, more AdSense income, which is the main, not the main, but one of the ways you can make money with channels, music channels on YouTube. This is something that didn't start for me until just this year, and it's not a lot. It's way less than I make from stock. But when you combine this with consulting income, with sponsored video income, with other things, then the channel starts to be quite helpful as an income source. And so, but the way I continue to make AdSense income work, and by the way, my lives should never have ads in them. If they have ads in them, then YouTube's adding it, because I don't have this monetized yet. I monetize it after it's over. I don't monetize it during. And I also would like everybody to know that I do not monetize during these longer videos. So if I have an hour-long video, I don't do the during the video ads. Now, if you see one, that's YouTube adding it in. I can't do anything about that because they have the freedom to put ads wherever they want. But for the most part, you shouldn't see any ads once I get into this stuff, or in our music reviews as we go through those. I am careful to turn the during the videos off. So hopefully you're not seeing that, only maybe before as you tune in and maybe after. But I'm careful with those, and I want to make sure that they're not that much in the way. But then again, that's just part of YouTube. So yeah, I want to continue bringing you good content here on this channel on Hello Composers, both long and short. It's hard for me to do the shorts. I did a lot of shorts at first on Hello Composers, and while I don't mind doing them and they're fairly quick to do, I'm not a big fan of them personally. So it's hard for me to do those. I do want to do more short, regular size video. That's 10-minute to 15-minute areas. I think that's kind of a sweet spot for most people. But these lives are what they are. Hey, it's an hour and 4 minutes. Sorry. We've been talking, and when I say we, I mean me. All right, let me get any last thoughts here. I'm going to hit my last thing here before we get going. Who else has said anything? Arco says, actually, the lives are fun, a lot to learn. Good. Arco says he's going to submit something this time. So finally, let me just wrap this up and say, is it all about more? Is that just the answer? And I have to say, really, it is. I mean, your more doesn't have to be 20 songs a week. It doesn't have to be doubling and tripling your income. But you always have to do more. Even Steve, who makes great money some months on Motion Array, he has to do more. He has to do fresh stuff. He is right now sitting, fiddling with his new computer called Stevie's Beast, and learning and getting his Cubase chops down so he can get more done. He built that computer so he could do more, faster, stronger, better than before. And so he is doing that, and so he can continue to do more music, more pitching, more channels, and more work on his YouTube channels and for his academy and things like that. We're all trying to do more music, more pitching, more channels, more income, more everything. So once you find that income stream, you need to 2, 3, or 5x that sucker and start supplanting your income, the income that you want to get away from so you have more time for music, with music income. And then you can really move on. So that's about all I have today. Any last Any last questions or thoughts? Jonathan Carlisle said, caught the last 20 minutes, lots of tracks to finish. Absolutely. Great to watch and listen to you as always. Great for you to be here, Jonathan. John says, got to dash. Well, I have to dash as well. So everybody, thanks for being here today. Daydream says, absolutely agree. More is more. Best example is Motion Array. The more I upload, the more downloads I get. And if you notice, the more uploads every month that you put in, the more you will make that month. It just always goes like that. Thanks, Signature. Have a great weekend. Thank you, ISO. Thanks, Arco. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Gonna end the broadcast. Go do more. Have a great weekend. Spend it doing more. Sound Folder, thanks for being here. Linda Britton, thanks for being here. Everybody, thanks for being here today. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And do more. We'll see you later. Everybody wave now. Everybody wave. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Bye now.